Welcome to today's webinar, From Picking to Profit, Smarter Shipping with Acumatica Cloud ERP. Today, we're going to talk about how fulfillment and shipping operations are changing and how businesses can improve the way they pick, pack, ship, and track orders. We'll also look at how Acumatica Cloud ERP, Kensium WMS, and EshipJet ShipperCopilot can support more scalable, resilient, and growth-ready operations. The goal for today is simple: to show how smarter warehouses, shipping processes can help teams move faster, reduce costs, improve visibility, and deliver a better customer experience. Before we jump in, I'd like to cover a few housekeeping items. Today's session will run about 45 minutes. All participants are on mute to help keep the session smooth. If you have any questions, please add them in the question box at any time during this webinar, and we'll save time for a Q&A at the end. And yes, this session is being recorded. We'll share a recording after the webinar so you can revisit it or share it with your team. Now that we've covered the quick housekeeping items, let's introduce our first speaker. Joining us from Kensium is Matt Gray. Matt brings over 25 years of experience in WMS and POS, consulting, and he works closely with businesses on product implementation, warehouse workflows, and operational improvement. Matt, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Ricky. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here today. As Ricky alluded to, I started with warehouse management and point of sale systems back in 2002. After a couple brief stints in banking and telecommunications, I found that software was interesting and have been here for 25 years. I now manage the commerce for WMS and point of sale products for Kensium, of which we're going to be showing you some of the WMS here today. We also have Kumar. Kumar is the TMS product inventor, a lot of experience in the market, 23 plus years, specifically in supply chain technology. He was the founder of Process Weaver, and he exited that company back in 2020. And when he left, it had over 1,000 plus customers, 500 plus warehouses, and is considered a warehouse management and TMS expert. Based out of Atlanta, he'll be joining us a little bit later today, talking about the EshipJet product. So today, we're going to focus on 4 key points. What is Kensium WMS and EshipJet ShipperCopilot? We're going to talk about a little bit about what's the difference, getting into the specific features of the products. Then we're going to go through specifically scenarios when customers need both Kensium WMS and ShipperCopilot. And at the end, we're going to be talking more about operational benefits of what the embedded component you see here today delivers. To start, Kensium WMS is a fully embedded warehouse management system within Acumatica. And with WMS, there is a lot more than pick, pack, and ship. We have our components for receiving, both for items, pallets, containers, put away options, transfer and inventory control, allowing real-time movement of inventory within the warehouse, and having that immediate visibility within the Acumatica ERP. We work with non-tracked, serial lot tracked items. If you are familiar with Acumatica, you realize it has a lot of options regarding FIFO, FIFO, when received, when used. We support all of those natively out of the box for your different functions within the warehouse. Also, we have built-in physical count and cycle count options, ensuring your inventory is accurate for as often as you choose to count. Create a count, use the handheld or multiple handhelds to go and count that inventory. We layer on top of the WMS additional barcode printing options for both desktop and handheld users. And as I briefly referenced before, one of the key things, some of which we'll talk about here a little bit later today, is pallet management. So for customers who have larger shipments, require LTL or FTL, you have the ability to pick items that go into boxes. Those boxes go into pallets. You can then label those and license plate those for easy staging, packing, and shipping. And we'll talk a little bit more also about the enhanced picking. Some customers have standard picking components, wave picking. Some people like to pick and pack in a single step. So you have different options to not only pick, which we will see later today live, but optimize those pickings based on different things like units of measure. Some customers only ship in case quantities. So being able to leverage the cross-reference functionality in Acumatica allows you to effectively pick how the order needs to be shipped to the customer. And as I always talk about WMS, I've always referred to it as a three-headed beast. There's always going to be a pick, a pack, and a ship. Some customers require that to be split into three specific departments, possibly for complexity, inspection requirements, additional paperwork you have to print. Whereas other customers may want to pick and pack at the same time, whether it be to a box, a pallet, a license plate. Others require the ability for a singular step to pick, which is what we're going to focus on here today, and then show you how you can effectively pack and ship through. So when we take a look at the Kensium Advanced WMS for Acumatica, there are multiple different ways that you can control the inbound and the outbound inventory. And on the receiving side, on the inbound side, is more advanced capabilities for you to receive across multiple purchase orders, receive across pallets, directed put away, cross-docking capabilities. So we'll take a look at some of that here. And if there are more questions when it comes time to the Q&A, feel free to bring those up. Now, focusing on the solution as a whole, we understand that warehouse management and logistics management many times is a small piece of a greater organization. So when you take a look at the Kensium product portfolio as a whole, we have specific solutions for retail, for fulfillment to a store, fulfillment to a customer, using Kensium WMS and ShipperCopilot. We're focusing on the warehouse section today, warehousing and ShipperCopilot, but we also have a multitude of connectors and extensions. Orders coming from the web through a Adobe, BigCommerce, Seller Cloud. The integrations and the tools that we have drive the work within the warehouse many times. And we also have partnerships with other components within the Acumatica ecosystem for EDI components, inbound and outbound, working with multiple different container components so you can effectively track that inventory from beginning to end. So Kumar, I'd like to take a moment and we're going to have Kumar explain a little bit more about the EshipJet Copilot component, and then we'll be hopping into a demonstration here after he is done.
Thank you, Matt. So EshipJet ShipperCopilot is fully embedded in Acumatica Cloud ERP system. So what it means is that the picker, packer, and the shipper never have to leave Acumatica landscape. So this is not just doing a multi-carrier shipping like FedEx, UPS, USPS, or a few carriers. This is the first of its kind for Acumatica Cloud ERP, a comprehensive transportation management system which does the rate shopping, selection of the carriers, be it parcel, LTL, TL, or FTL. It also does the address validation, which means that before you ship it, you want to make sure that the address is validated so that you never have to worry about customer delays of the shipment. The other most important thing we want to talk about is denied party screening. We want to make sure that whatever you are shipping to the customer, it is not blacklisted by CBP. And filing with export compliance. So you have seen many other shipping systems today for Acumatica, but those are all limited to a few functionality. Most of the Acumatica customers, based on our experience, what they are doing is that they're only doing 50% of the shipments are going through the parcel software, whatever they have in place. Things like export compliance, things like international shipping, things like LTL, TL, FTL, the freight tendering. Those business scenarios are done outside of Acumatica landscape. And also like, shipment execution, right? Making sure that you print all the shipping documents, like shipping labels, carrier labels, commercial invoice, certificate of origin. Various shipping documents are needed to move those packages from place A to place B. We make sure that those documents are printed directly from Acumatica Cloud ERP. The other thing is track and trace, which is very important nowadays, that you want to have a real-time information coming from carriers, things like there are any exception, there are any delays, it could be weather problem, it could be that customer address is wrong. We capture that information, we proactively communicate with the customer so that, ultimately the goal is you want to make sure that as a customer, they should receive the product on time without any delay. If there are any delays, a shipper should take responsibility. The shipper should have that information in hand so that we can address that issue systematically. The other thing is RMS, right? We want to make it, easier, the RMA process, so that, you'll be able to send the return labels electronically to the customer. So for any reason, if they want return, they have the label already in place. The most important thing, some of the customers, they do DG shipments. We make sure that those are processed from one unified system, right? So ultimately, what our goal is, we want to have one unified shipping platform for all modes of transportation, including the mobile landscape, especially for picking process, what Matt was going to demo you. Then we want to have a picking is done through the mobile, and we want to print the shipping labels using the mobile printer as well. So combining all these different various functionality, we believe that customers should be able to gain flexibility. They'll be able to ship more shipment. They'll be able to process more shipments systematically, and eventually they'll be able to save operational and shipping cost. Next slide, please, Matt. So combining WMS, right? As Matt was mentioning, the WMS and shipping, like the three things he was talking about: pick, pack, ship. If any of your warehouses, if the customer, the shipper warehouses, if they can combine WMS processes with shipping, pick, pack, ship, then trust me, like, instead of processing like 100 shipments in a day, you'll be able to process like 1,000 shipments in a day, right? So rather than having like 20 employees in the warehouse, you'll be able to have like less headcount in the warehouses as well. And most importantly, inventory accuracy, the lot serialization, the warehouse throughput, like picking, packing, all of them will be achieved by combining Kensium WMS and ShipperCopilot. Based on our case study working with various customers, we see that there are 10 to 15% just on the operational cost. When you say operational cost, how you pick pack itself is like a lot of work, right? A lot of manual things are happening. Even though you use handheld guns, a lot of things are happening manually. With Kensium WMS, we'll be able to reduce your operational cost. With ShipperCopilot, we're able to save your shipping cost as well. The next slide. So Matt is going to go through the live demo of how the picking put away process is going to happen. Then the following, I'm going to take over how you can process a multi-carrier TMS process once Matt is done. Matt, all yours.
So what I wanted to do here first is pull up Acumatica. Many of you have seen this before. And you've heard a particular word embedded multiple times here today. And what I like to point out is within the Acumatica UI, you will see in this environment here that there is both a WMS workspace and a ShipperCopilot workspace. Now, from a WMS aspect, when you're mobile in the warehouse doing directed picking, you'll see that interface here in a moment. But when you take a look at the WMS workspace, what you see here is much of the setup, installation, configuration of both products are done within the UI. So it's an extension of training as screens follow the same logic formats, and you can still favorite those in limit, and I think most importantly, control access through the standard Acumatica security. And I won't bore you with every one of these, but what you will find is in native Acumatica, you create bins, default shipping bins. Whereas once those are created, you can then extend that into the warehouse preferences and notate, is this a viable shipping or receiving location? Is this bin available for cross dock through our cross dock component? Is it broken out in different zones? Do you have a hot, cool, or I'm sorry, a cold, cool, dry? Do you have forklift bins versus floor pick bins? The zone component allows you to split picks and have different persons picking at the same time to ultimately bring and stage those goods for final packing, whether it is done from a handheld or whether it is done from a desktop. So the additional features, many of which are on our website on this, it allows for more advanced processing. Receiving a PO is receiving a PO. Does it come in balanced or released? Where WMS differs is multi-PO receipts. I want to receive across 8 different purchase orders. or it's receiving to a pallet. So you can receive goods directly to a pallet, tag that pallet, which is used by many heavily lot serial users, to where then those goods can be moved to staging, cross stock for a shipment, maybe moved to production. So I wanted to give you a quick look into the Acumatica side before we brought on the handheld. So give me a moment. I'm going to minimize this, and I am going to bring the handheld over and give you a brief tour on this and walk you through a couple of processes. So what you're looking at here is a PC emulator of what the software would look like on the actual Android device. And how we've broken this out, I'm logged in as admin, so I see everything. So it's very important to realize not all users will want all of these options on the handheld. For example, many customers are adamant that they would never allow a warehouse user to do a direct issue, inventory receipt, or inventory issue. Makes perfect sense. You can remove those from the UI altogether. Some people want the ability limited for certain users. So based on the Acumatica users and roles, you have the ability to allow Johnny to do it, but maybe not Betty, or vice versa. So you'll see here, you have your bin checks, containers, which is a palletization component. You have your wave pick, cross stock. You have additional components that even integrate with the Acumatica manufacturing for materials, move, and labor as well. We're focused here on shipping today. And so if I go back to the main screen, on the screen here, you will see those three different components that we talked about. Today, we're going to be focusing on the pick process. So when we take a look at the pick process and we enter the picking screen, there are a couple of different options here that are available to you. I can go, and if I have a singular shipment, I could go ahead and enter in or scan that shipment right off the pick list. One of the options that we do have here is the ability to add a button here called Get Next. And based on multiple different levels of order priority and all of that, it will essentially allow you to go paperless. Now, there's a lot of additional things or things that you have to prepare for, whereas all of your items are barcoded, all of your bins are barcoded. So if you are an environment where you are 100% scan rate and you can go out, you can automate these to be as needed. But what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and load the first pick. This one here, if we take a look at it, so I don't bounce you back to Acumatica, you can take a look. It's kind of a standard item, couple of items, a parcel, probably like a FedEx ground, something like that. We'll review the picks and we'll go into pick items. And what the system will do based on pick sequencing, pick priority, all of that, stuff that Acumatica does. It will route you to the first location to go pick from. So while I am out there, it would direct me to R1S1. If you are familiar with the Acumatica demo data, you know what R1S1 is. So if I go out there and enter or type or scan R1S1, it's going to go out and then tell you, here is the item you need to pick. So I would go out and enter or scan that item barcode, UPC code cross-reference, and then I would have then it's going to show me how many. So in this case, I kept it simple. It's just a one each, and then it's going to say, great. While you're there, I also need you to get a con bottle one. And it's going to say quantity of one. And so once we're done, it will immediately bring you back to the main screen. So from here, I could review or I could save. Now, here's the key thing where we differ a bit from the standard WMS. So what's happening here, if you look at Acumatica, so this is, I haven't refreshed the screen. You'll see that we have an open pick status. So we have statuses that will track open picking, which means it's active. It's partially picked, partially packed, all the way through. And you see we have our R1S1. Well, when I go to update this, you'll see a couple of different things. Because I picked it, all items, you see that it is in fact picked. And you'll see that the location was updated to your default shipping location for this warehouse. The reason why is behind the scenes, we are tracking all of this by creating a transfer from the pick bin, R1S1 in this case, to the ship bin, which is the default ship bin for that warehouse or that handheld. So it allows you to accurately see on hand and on available quantities at your bins. Maybe you're doing a cycle count right after this pick. All of this information is updated in real time. So as they're taking it off the shelf and saving it, it's updating in Acumatica. Now, the next one here, the next shipment will go through. Oh, I'm sorry. And by the way, and Kumar is going to take a look at these similar shipments here and walk us through the ShipperCopilot component of it. So rather than bounce you back and forth, we'll just go through it. So in taking a look at the next item here, you'll see something very similar, parcel, shop for rates from there. So if I go out from the handheld, I'm going to go ahead and enter in my shipment. Load it up, and it's going to direct me to the first bin to go. So I have my R1S1. It's going to say you go out, scan the first item, confirm the quantity, scan the second item, confirm the quantity, hit save. This is generating that transfer and then updating the shipment. So when complete, you'll see a green sign of show you that shipment has been picked. And now a user could hit get next, or could go take the next pick list off the counter, scan it, and it'll start directing them through the process. Now, this one here, just to go through the process, when I load the next shipment here, this one here is what we call self-pack. So one of the things that happens on an item in the cross-reference tab many customers who deal in case quantities, they may still sell, let's say, for example, they have 10 inches in a box. And that box is a unit of measure cross-reference of a box of 10. Well, many times they'll have an order for 200 boxes. Well, they don't want to pick 200 eaches and then say, I put 10 in each box. They want to pick a box of goods. So when I go out here and review this one here, what you'll see is a couple different things. So when I go to pick the items, I have the ability to scan my bin. And what you'll see here is the system will, you'll see it's a 3-pack of balls, right? So I could go out there and I could scan the cross-reference, and the handheld is going to understand that when you scan that, I think I typed it in correctly. Yeah, it said, oh, you scanned a box of 10 and we needed 10 golf balls. So what you can see is the handheld is saying that it's one box of 10, but it's your 10 eaches all in one. So when I say I pick one box, it knows you're done. You don't have to scan the item and then enter in a quantity of 10 or anything of that nature. So when we go and generate that transfer and update that shipment, we'll see that it is in a box 10 unit of measure. So finally, I just wanted to show real quick kind of a mix on here. We're going to have our golf balls again. So when I go to pick items, we go out to R1S1. But first, it's telling me to pick a golf bag. We don't have those in quantities of 10. So, oh, I must have, oh, I typed it incorrectly. That's why we scan. So it goes out and says, get one each. And now go out and you'll scan the item. So as you can see here, because I scanned the item, I could pick 10. Or if I went up here and I scanned the cross-reference, it's going to do the conversion and understand that I understand this is a 10-pack. Hit enter. Oh, I have to actually put in an enter. Hit save, and this will generate the transfer, and this will update the shipment. So in this scenario here today, now what we've done is we have 4 orders, of which some are self-packed, some need to be packed. And Kumar, I'm going to turn it over to you.
So as we keep on talking about embedded, right? As you see here, this is an Acumatica native TMS platform. I click here, it brings up this screen. From the user perspective, they go to the ship now. And here I scan my shipment number, right? I'm going to scan my shipment number 006657, and I say get the details of the shipment number. And the scene determine which carrier and service level to be used to ship it. So this is a self-pack. That means that this came within the box. So this is a quantity of 10, as Matt was mentioning. And then I'm going to ship it here. Ship now. At this point, the carrier communication is happening. The FedEx compliance ground label will be printed. And not only that, we also print the packing slip and things like that. So if you look at, let's go back and process one more shipment. So I have one more shipment 007254. So I'm pulling all the details for the another delivery number. So this has, I think, okay, sorry, say here. This is what we just processed the shipment, and you can also get the details of the freight cost, the base charges, and the total charges. And you see here the upsell. So this is what we expect from the carrier to get $27.83, but we also can charge extra charges to the customer based on the type of the product and so forth. If you go to the documents, this is where we print the shipping label. There's a from and to, and there's a FedEx ground shipping label as well. And we also print the packing slip. So this is a packing slip goes inside the box. Right? As you can see that, you can also reprint if you some reason if that label is stuck with the Zebra printer, the shipper has an option to reprint as well. Let's go to the Acumatica, the shipment screen, and see how it looks. Right? I'm going to find this here. Go here. It is going to automatically update the packing details and so forth. So as you can see that the ship confirmation happened automatically, and the freight cost is captured on the shipment here. This is the publisher freight include accessorial charges, and this is what you charge to the customer. And we also capture the packages tab. This is the tracking number, this is the package ID, and you can also see who processed it, which user has been processed the shipment, and at what time as well. Let's look at other scenario. So I'm going to clear this shipment and then go through. We have 007259, and this is another UPS shipment. So you can see here if there are any special instructions is kept as a part of the sales order, we pull that information as a part of the shipment. Me as a shipper, I acknowledge it and handle with care, and this information is available already here in other screen as well. Now go back to your pack. So this has two items. I can do one here and select my box ID and pack it. And behind the scene, it creates a package ID, and the package ID gets updated in shipment document within Acumatica. So this is a package ID, and we also print the package label, which is nothing but this label goes on the shipment box, and the same information is also captured on the shipment number in Acumatica. Let's go back and do the partial shipment and say pack. And then it also creates another package ID. And now that you're shipping for this delivery with two boxes, package ID 1, 2, and I do ship now. At this point, we are printing multi-piece shipment 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. Let's go back and like the same thing applies for SIA for LTL shipment. I'm going to take one of the SIA shipments 7253. This is an LTL shipment, and we also automatically calculate these LTL class and NMFC class and so forth. And this is an LTL, we automatically put the pro number and so forth here. So if you already have a pre-printed pro number, just scan the pro number and this gets printed on the BOL document here. So we also print the bill of lading document as well. Let's go back and show you some of the other things here, orders. And we do the real-time webhooks with UPS, FedEx, and other carriers. Let's go back and look at this, the track and trace information. We pull this information real-time from carrier, and if we go to POD here, we have the proof of delivery information, and we also have picture POD as well. And the same applies for other carriers as well. UPS, exactly the same phenomena. So no matter what carrier customers your shippers are going to use, you are going to use, then we have one unified interface as well. Last but least, then if you go to the favorites here, the sales orders, then we do the rate shopping at the sales order level as well. If you go to the open items here, clear all. You take this, This is the sales order level, and we do the rate shopping in the sales order level to determine the best mode of carrier and shop for rates. Then we behind the scene, not only for parcel carriers, we pull the rates for LTL carriers as well. In this case, USPS, UPS, ABF, and so forth.
So thank you guys. We've covered a lot of ground today. And just as Kumar said, we are open for a few questions. The first question, it looks like it's for you, Matt. It's on inventory accuracy and warehouse efficiency. The question is, we struggle with inventory inaccuracies and inefficient warehouse processes. How can Kensium WMS help us improve our day-to-day operations?
Yeah, it's a great question, Ricky. Overall, a lot of times when I see this question, it's because there are more than one system trying to be a master data set. So having all of the inventory data directly in the ERP and feeding it real time from receiving to inventory control, counting, and picking really allows a user to see and track what data goes where, even who's doing it. And then by extension on the shipping side with ShipperCopilot, pushing the tracking numbers, delivery documents, all that information back into Acumatica, it's one source of truth of data. You're not having to go online to download a label. It's all right there in front of you. So because of the embedded dual architecture for both products, I think it really lends itself well to those types of needs.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, so the next question, it looks like it's for EshipJet. How does your platform differentiate itself from other shipping and transportation management systems currently in the market?
So as we talked about, there are many other shipping systems has been there. The way we see is that, as I said, based on our customer experience, 50% of the shipments are only processed through whatever they have in place, right? So mainly they use it for processing parcel shipments. But what we have done for an Acumatica space, usually for enterprise scale customers, what they do work with a lot of LTL, TL, FTL carriers, we're able to bring the same functionality for Acumatica right now. With EshipJet, so the customers, the shippers, the manufacturers, they're able to process all modes of transportation from one unified ShipperCopilot platform from within Acumatica Cloud ERP.
Thank you, Kumar. Okay, so this next question, it looks like it's for both of you guys. We'll start with Matt. We don't have good visibility on our orders once they hit our warehouse. How does Kensium WMS and ShipperCopilot improve transparency across fulfillment? So Matt, if you want to take that first.
Absolutely. That's one of the key things before an order is done. Why Kensium, I wanted to show the slide specific to our full suite of goods, because we have worked with hundreds of customers on being able to insert transactions, sales orders into the ERP, whether it be real time, overnight, based on needs and requirements. Because once those orders are in, Acumatica has a really good way of setting automation schedules to where you can generate shipments throughout the day. We have tools, didn't really get into it today, called optimization within Acumatica creates process order screen that allows you to take a look at orders that you could ship right now because they're in picking bins. It has a green, yellow, red. So green means I can pick now. Yellow means you have enough in the warehouse, but not enough in picking bins. And red means you can't ship this at all today. No reason to even look at them. So what you could do is you can run tools like the Kensium WMS optimization and get pickers picking faster. The whole order. Picking bins, get them picking at 6 a.m., get them packing at 6:30, and kind of go through and use tools like restocking. So after you have a wave of picks go through the warehouse, you can then have the team replenish the bins and increase your throughput. Kumar made an important comment earlier, which customers may be limited to 56 or 60 orders a day just because it's inefficient. These tools like optimization and WMS and ShipperCopilot allow you to do it faster, more efficiently throughout the warehouse.
Thank you, Matt. And Kumar, same question on how can we improve visibility across fulfillment with ShipperCopilot?
So Ricky, as you all see, we as a customers, right? We always buy something or the other online, Amazon, right? So when Amazon sends, you buy something on Amazon, when they send the package to us, then we're getting a lot more visibility than when we get the similar product you buy someone else's website, right? So what is the difference? So that means that we are here to help Acumatica customers. We are here to help Acumatica customers who are running warehouses with Kensium WMS, with ShipperCopilot, as they ship it, be it regional carriers, be it national carriers like UPS, FedEx, like LTL carriers, even maybe hyper locals like Uni. So now the customer expectations are that they want instant information, they want real-time information. So Amazon is able to do it, but the shippers, Acumatica customers who are shipping it from their warehouses, they are not able to provide that kind of information. The reason being, Amazon is a bigger company. They have billions of dollars. They have invested a lot of money to have the technology. We will be able to give, coupled with Kensium WMS, with ShipperCopilot, we are going to give exactly, Amazon has the technology. We're going to give the technology to the Acumatica the shippers, right? So with that, we are going to get the webhooks is integrated, the visibility of shipments, so that the customers will get notified the moment it gets shipped. Customers will get notified when there is a delay in the shipment. So that kind of information we're able to push it because of webhooks, because we are doing a real-time integration with the carriers using API. In the past, it's all manual. There's a delay of getting that information from the carriers. With Copilot coupled with WMS, we are able to give and match the Amazon phenomena. So that means that once you deploy ShipperCopilot into the Acumatica warehouses, the customers of Acumatica where they run their warehouses, they will be able to, their customers will be able to get real-time visibility information into their footprint.
Awesome. So one more question we have over here. So it says we heavily rely on experienced warehouse staff, and training new employees takes too long. How can these solutions help reduce that dependency? We could start with Kumar this time.
That's the thing, right? So when you have a decentralized, when you don't have a proper WMS system, when you don't have a proper picking process, so then what happens is that you're combining. So traditionally what they have done, most of the warehouses, so they pull that inventory using the picking process, they pull to the staging area, and there you have a set of folks, the packers, we call packers. So the packers, what they do is they pack it and put it into the box. It's all manual. So because of that, so you are consuming extra time to ship the product, the labor intense and so forth as well. So by having the Kensium WMS, the picking, as you pick it, then we're not moving the product to the staging area, and we're also printing the carrier compliant shipping label. So in a way that there are, instead of doing like 5-6 steps which are needed from picking to shipping, and they're reducing from 6 steps to 2 steps with combining WMS and Copilot.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I want to end with one final question to both of you, which is, what is the one thing leaders should take away from this conversation? Matt, I'll start with you, and then Kumar after that.
Thanks, Ricky. I think the one thing to take away is the combination of what we showed here today. Take out the 50 years of experience just on this call. There are a lot of products available to you today that can make your customers' lives easier. And hopefully today you were able to see not only easy, efficient software, we were able to help you understand that there's a whole group of solutions that work together to make companies more efficient and more profitable. Kumar?
Yeah, so yeah, one thing to take away, as Matt said, there are so many, WMS systems out there. There are so many, multi-carrier shipping systems out there. But what is unique with WMS, with Kensium WMS and ShipperCopilot, by combining AI technology right now, right? So if you look at those systems out there in the marketplace, built last 20-25 years, which is a legacy, but moving ahead, we're able to bring AI powered, which means that the system is able to look at various use cases systematically. It's going to read your history. It's going to look at what are the best mode of transportation to be shipped using that that customer. So it is kind of an AI era, right? Which means that adding a new carrier, selecting the carrier and service level, printing various different documents, the shipment visibility, all those things used to take like months to incorporate those processes into your warehouse into your warehouse systems, right? With AI powered WMS and Copilot, we can reduce like months to days. In turn, you're able to reduce your operational costs and you're able to reduce your shipping costs. If you look at the customer expectations, right? If you ship anything in 2 days or next day, it is too late for the customer. And the customers are not going to pay for it, unlike before. So the shipper, the cost of the shipper is paying the shipping cost, which means that as a shipper, we are under tremendous pressure to reduce our shipping costs and increase our bottom line. By having AI-powered WMS and Copilot, we are here to help you to reduce your overall operational cost and shipping cost.
Thank you, Kumar and Matt. And all right, with that, we'll start wrapping up. If we didn't get to your question, we will reach out to you very soon with an answer. And thank you to everyone who joined us today. Thank you, Matt and Kumar, for sharing their insights. If your team is looking to improve fulfillment, reduce shipping costs, or get more out of Acumatica, Kensium WMS, and EshipJet, we'd be happy to continue the conversation. Please reach out to Kensium or EshipJet after the webinar, and we'll help you out right away. Thank you for joining, and we hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.